Well, g'day everyone. It's the Two Ordinary Cops, and we are back. Damo, how are you, mate?
Oh, never better. Yeah, we're having a great week.
We are,
Just where are we, mate?
mate. We are in Darwin, Northern Territory.
Sure are. Yeah. So we mentioned last week we were going to head up this week, and we had Monday. Tuesday. Sorry, we flew up from Brizzy. We went straight to Katherine.
We
so
did.
We went right back to where it all began.
Yep.
Had a bloody good night down in Katherine. Caught up with Kylie and ran into people just randomly.
Oh,
it was really good. And I think that the shout out was, as we were leaving, we had coffee at the coffee club, and in walked the commissioner and a few others, and his chief of staff goes, it's the Two Ordinary Cops. So that was pretty unreal. We got a photo with Mr. Murphy, and just bloody good times.
It was good, yeah. And Superintendent Thomas Jewell.
Yeah, of course, Julie
yep.
from the Last Stop Larimer fame.
That's exactly.
Yeah, he was the OSC at Mataranka at the time.
Yeah, so, and it was good. We got up with some old squatties and some old people we worked with back around the station. Good old Nick Byrne and Ellis Tracy and his wife Mel.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
No, it was really good. We drove back up on the Wednesday, and we've been catching up with people ever since.
Yep.
And it's been really good because this is the first time back since the podcasting started. And it's getting such positive reception. It was just brilliant.
It is.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. But I think today we're talking about, obviously, while we're up here, we're interviewing people, and we're going to be, we're not going to let the cat completely out of the bag. We'll sort of release them as they come. But I think the big one for us this week is we just sit back and smile looking back. And we've left the job. We're happy with that. We're happy with where we're going. But it was just so good to sit. You just feel that absolute ease sitting with people who are still doing the job.
Yep.
And they just got so much. You just got so much in common. That camaraderie is right there. I think I mentioned in the car when we were coming in how it was like we were talking to each other 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's just we've been gone, but we're still part of it.
Yep.
So,
I think Kylie put it the best, didn't it?
Yeah.
And that's Commander Kylie Anderson.
Yeah.
But she did the best. We were sitting there talking, and I think you were saying something, Damo. You're sitting there going, what am I saying? We're not cops anymore.
Yeah.
And she goes, you mightn't not wear the uniform, you might not have the badge, but you're one of us.
Yeah. She goes, you're still
and it was really nice, to know it. And you said it the other day. We're with our people.
Yeah. No, it was good.
So it's people that understand. So.
But yeah, we had a bit of a catch up last night, so we're recording this on Friday today. We're going to release this afternoon.
It is.
We want to make sure it's good. So last night we caught up with a few, and it was just brilliant. There was a couple of different generations, but like our era sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Even the old fellas, you still got it all in common, and it's all the same. And a funny one from last night, we have to just give my old mate Shiltsy a shout out. So at one point, the conversation degenerated to the point of ridiculous. We're basically trying to one-up each other with horrendous stories. And one of my mates, Duggo, was there. And he actually was... I mentioned earlier about a plane crash at Jindare when I was fairly junior, where we had dead bodies in a plane crash. And anyway... Duggo was talking about it. We're talking about like really full-on stuff, removing badly burnt bodies, and it wasn't good. And my mate Schultz, he's just shoveling chicken wings into his face, didn't care less. And a few of us made the observation. It's like, you got a cast iron gut, haven't you?
These stories were not nice, but I'm sitting there, I'm laughing. I've got bloody hot sauce all over my mouth, and I'm just chewing on these chicken wings.
Yeah. No, it was very funny. Yeah, so it's been really good to get back in the camaraderie and sort of just see the really junior guys. And I think there was a copper the other day, and someone mentioned to me they're born in 2004.
Yeah.
So 3 years before we joined the job, they were born.
Yep.
And that makes you feel a bit old. Because I don't feel old.
No, neither do I. Well, I made the comment, and I think like when we joined the police, I still remember you would sit there and go, 1990, if they're born 1990, they're a juvenile.
That's right, yeah. Now they're 34.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it's been a really good week, and it's going to keep going. We're here till Sunday.
Yep.
So, we've got a few more things to catch up. We're going to the Darwin City Christmas party tonight. Holy bloody hell. I probably know about 4 people from there. I'm not sure yet, but I served in Darwin for a couple of years in the Darwin City Police Station. So that'll be good to go and see the old crew You know,
well,
it's the same patch.
It's funny you say that, and like we were pulling up in Katherine, and we might know many people there because I mean, geez, it was years since both of us have been there.
Yeah.
Basically, anyway, Kyler came down and let us in, and Al Green, suddenly run into him, you know, and then like Nick Byrne, and you just keep running into these people, and then we went out down to the Golfie and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, and they're the really old soldiers now.
That's right.
The old guard.
Yeah.
And they're our crew, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
So, no, it was really good. Mate, have you got any shout-outs this week?
Well,
we sort
mate,
of skipped over it.
I actually have. Yeah, we did. So, mate, how deaf am I?
Oh, yeah, as a post. In fact, there's a couple of posts around who can hear better than you.
So, and this is a bit of a shout-out to Arafura Audiology. They're actually based here in Darwin. I still get my hearing aids through them because when I left,
this is not a paid advertisement, by the way.
No, this is not. No, that's exactly right. But and it was funny because a conversation came up last night, with one of the coppers, and he hearing is not quite as good as what it used to be, and I mean that happens as you get older anyway. Because mine started to deteriorate really probably significantly, I think, towards the end of 2010. And anyway, so I looked into getting hearing aids, and it just changed my life. So I get mine, and this is a shout out to the Arafura Audiology, the people working there, because I was having a chat with them, just talking about the podcast. They know a few cops, and they're signed straight up to it. So, so thanks for that. I'll make sure that I'll let them know that I gave them a shout out today. But for anybody, if you're in police health, you can, like, these hearing aids cost me $6,000. But you get, I think it's between $1,200 or $1,400 back.
So
if you're in police health. So it's
a lot of us.
It's well worth your while.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I'll probably have to look at them.
You might. I'll see you actually sometimes in noisy environments. Damo's almost cupping his ears so he can hear what we're saying about.
I might be as deaf as that post up.
Oh, but you're not not as I am, that's for sure. Well, mind you, I've got bionic hearing at the moment, so in one ear because one's actually getting repaired. So.
One thing we did notice as well, we were walking around in both Katherine and Darwin, was that you start, because we don't live in this place anymore and we haven't done police work elsewhere. I was walking down Mitchell Street yesterday and I went, I did CPR there on a dude.
Yeah.
And then we drove past the BP in Katherine and went, did CPR on a bloke in there.
Yep.
There's, remember the arrest we made there?
Yeah.
And you're just driving around reminiscing. And I think a lot of police can relate to this because I've heard it back from, it was the parents of a police officer, I can't remember who it was, but they'd be driving around with their son or daughter and they'd be going, we arrested the guy here, we did this there. And it's like, it's weird how the place reminds you of what occurred there. And you drive past and look at the place and go, bloody hell, I remember that night. It looks a bit different now.
Yep.
But there was heaps of them.
Well, I remember just going around Darwin, you said, we had to pull that body out of the pool, out the back of that place. And then, like, we're driving down Darwin, just coming off Mitchell Street there, where the Darwin police station. You said, that's the park where all that guy got stabbed. In that one that was that
weird
just
jobs.
Went out of control.
The ever escalating job. So we drive past and I look at this park and it's the middle of the day. Mind you, I just add to everybody, we weren't doing a tour of the most morbid sites in Darwin. We were just driving around to places and I just look at someone and go, remember that? And then Schultzy couldn't think of the park that I was talking about where all this happened.
Yep.
And then I said, it was there. And he went, you mean like right in the centre? It's on the corner of Nucky and Mitchell Street, diagonally opposite the police station. I said, mate, that's where it happened.
Yep.
So,
but it's amazing. You kind of get a sense, and this is for everybody that's in the job, how much you actually did.
Yeah.
Because they're constant as you're driving down the street. I remember. I had to grab that one there. That's where it disarmed someone. Or
Well, even driving down McMillan's Road. Now McMillan's Road's a place I drove a police car as fast as I've ever driven any car in my life to catch up to it was some kind of robbery that would turn into a pursuit. So I was racing out from Casuarina area to Palmerston to catch up with this pursuit. And I remember looking down, when you drive like that, for those who know, you look a long way ahead. It was the middle of the night, so there was no one else around. And it's 3 lanes wide, really wide open road, so I was hooking. And I remember the lines were just going whip, 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 really fast past. And then I glanced down at the speedo. I'm not going to say what the speed was, but it was high. So it was very high. So there may have been a 2 in front of it. So anyway, we and then here I am just driving along with the cruise control set at 80 so I don't get caught speeding, in a Prado. And just thinking, isn't it funny? It just the things that catch your mind back. And I think it's good. This is a fairly nostalgic trip, because
it is.
We're glad we live where we are. We're happy.
Yeah.
But it's also, the Territory's got a hell of a spot in my heart,
Oh, definitely. And I've said it, mate, 100 times. This is the best job I ever did. By a long shot. It's and it was so good to do it in the Territory as well. And how close you are to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's a really tight group. And you said it just before. It's like we just caught up yesterday.
Yeah.
But some of these people, we haven't worked with them in over 10 years, or even seen them in 10 years.
Yeah.
But it's like we went on patrol with them yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. You just slot back in and you're just there again. So no, it's been brilliant, and it's going to keep getting good. Like tonight's going to be a hoot.
It will.
So we'll probably have to report back on how the Darwin City Christmas party. I'm just surprised we got an invite.
We've been invited to a few things actually. It just keeps on popping up, and I'll tell you what, I might need a liver transplant after this.
I guarantee you I will. Yeah, no, but it's excellent, and even talking to some of the junior guys, it's good.
It is.
Yeah, they're all happy and.
Some of them, like in Katherine, introduced one of the junior guys, and he was really happy to meet us and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's and it's also like there's a lot of people that listen to it,
Yeah.
like people that surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have to give a shout out to Spot.
Oh, we do. Yeah.
Yes. So do you want to tell that story how that actually happened, Dave?
Yeah. So that was quite funny. We were standing at the front counter. We're waiting to get a carton of beer back. We'd left it in the VOQs, and they're such efficient people. They'd already cleaned it before we'd checked out, and we had a full carton of beer there. So we went back and said, "Oh, any chance we could find that?" And anyway, then the back door opens, and we hear this, "Ah!" And we turn around. It's the two ordinary cops, and we turn around, and it was Spot. So Spot's the tracker and Yardie basically at the police station in Katherine. And he's been there for, I think it was 194 years he's been there. So,
and that's not stretching the truth.
No, he doesn't look.
He doesn't look older.
No, but he's just always been a constant.
Yeah.
So to have him there and say good day, and we had a good catch up with him, got a few photos, and anyway, then we're going. Oh, I said, so what are you doing here? And we told the story about the beer can. And he goes, I've got it in my car. So he'd gone and collected it because the cleaners had obviously said, and he said, hey, would have just grabbed it and said, someone will probably come looking for it.
Yep.
And it was ours. So thanks for returning our beer, Spot.
Yep, that's right. Very much appreciated.
Yeah.
But it was good. He showed us through. So when we were actually last in Katherine Station, the fire station was next door to it.
Well, it's one building.
Yeah, that's right. And now it's been taken over by police because the fire's got probably a new Butte one.
Yeah, big one over the road.
Across the road. So and that's where we ran into Nick Byrne.
Yeah,
doing some training.
Become the training. So he's the command trainer down there now, and they've got a big training room where in the old fire sheds where the trucks were. So it's a good utilisation of that space.
It is.
So he's in his element now. He's a very experieed copper, old Nick Byrne.
Yeah.
So for him to be the command trainer, that's excellent.
Well, that's right. Well, he squad before us, or
couple before us.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So no, it was really good. But even Kylie, what I really like there is how we've got this good relationship with the hierarchy here because we know a lot of them. So it's been really good. Like, obviously, we're going to have a chat with Kylie.
Yep.
So she's the commander of the whole region there, but we've known her for years, so it's still good. We can get that professional perspective from her, and for whatever else, it was just bloody good to catch up.
Oh yeah.
So we'll probably speak to a few others. We're speaking to a few others. I'm going to keep a few of them quiet.
Yeah. You'll see when they come on the show, but I mean the people like talking to Collie Anderson. That's easy. There's so many stories.
Yeah.
And she's so happy to come on and try and, I suppose, give it from her perspective as well, because we want a significant, women in policing is significant, but she's now at a higher rank.
Yeah.
She's worked her way through, so she can give you a good vision of what it was like when she started.
Yeah.
And then moved her way through the ranks and all that sort of thing. And she's such a top person.
Oh, yeah. Really good boss. Looks after him. And so that's, that she'll be excellent. Her perspective's fantastic. And I think we mentioned when we were talking about women in policing, it's like, we're not girls.
No.
So
I'm glad you noticed.
Yeah. So it'll be good to get that female perspective. But the other thing is we're getting it from someone who's been around a very long time, knows the Northern Territory inside out and back to front.
Yep.
So, yeah, really good. But,
and she chats to a lot of people. Like she's getting information all the time from a lot of people. She's just that personality. And I think, and I said to her, and I think she was quite pleased. We've got a couple of females that listen to this podcast and interested in joining the police, and they've actually asked us some questions that we can put to her just to get from her perspective, which is really important. I think that's nice to be able to pass that information to the younger generation, so they actually get an understanding on, I suppose, better ways to do things, maybe, or how you should take certain things. So,
But just talking about who else we've run into and things like that. For those not from the Northern Territory, there's a radio station up here, FM 104.9, and they've got a 360 with Katie Wolf, who's one of the one of the programs. It's like a talkback show, very territory based. Excuse me, all about just what's going on around the territory at any one time and the topical points and things like that. And I recognised this lady sitting in front of me, and I couldn't put where I knew her from. Anyway, it was Katie Wolf.
Yeah.
And we just got chatting about it, so she even took my phone number. So we watched what goes on there. Who knows? I'm not promising anything there, but that'll be good.
Yeah.
So, and it just, I think we're so happy with it because it's hit what we were trying to do, which was, I think the original thought from us for this podcast was have a laugh, get the stories out.
Yep.
It's evolved a bit. It's sort of, we didn't realise we've helped a few people. Like people have reached out and said, "Oh, you made a good point here," and that was, it was like a bonus. That wasn't the intention.
Yeah.
I think it's been really good for us personally.
Oh, definitely.
But it's also, we were just really happy that it's helped others. So, so that was really good. So we can get the word out. It's great.
It's always important, I think, to learn the lessons from the past. For people that've been through it and all that sort of thing. And the good thing is, I think, this is a platform where you're not only getting what we've learned, but you're getting what other older cops have learned as well.
Yeah.
And we can actually get it out there, so the younger generation coming through can have a bit of a head start in what they're coming up against. Basically, there was one comment the other day. I can't remember it off the top of my head who exactly said it, but it's the same thing about this job will mess you up.
Yeah.
There is no two ways about it.
Yeah.
It's what I saw it on Facebook this morning. You go in wanting to save the world, and you come out, basically the world's changed you.
The world's changed you. Yeah. No, and that's dead true. And it definitely does. And it doesn't have to be catastrophic. Like we're lucky. I think we're not. We're not broken.
No,
but we've got a couple of screws loose, but we're not broken.
One or two, mate.
Yeah, but there are people who are broken, and there's other people who could have been broken but aren't as well.
Yeah.
And I didn't probably realise how prolific this is. It's not really a topic of conversation when you're at work.
No.
So when you're in that rat race, it was just busy. And I just remember going, and you operate at this tempo that's out of control. And then what happens is you stop. And it took me years for the momentum to slow down.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise I was that bloody hyperactive. But talking back now, years later, to other people, they've all got issues to some degree.
Yep.
And I think some of the ones who are current serving wouldn't realise it yet because they're in that rat race and they're immersed in this world. But what's going to happen is they'll leave the job one day and all of a sudden you don't really relate to others as well. You can have friends. Of course you're going to have mates outside the job, but they just don't get it. And nor should they. They haven't done, and that's fine. But it's just, I now understand completely why there are retired police associations.
Yeah.
And I get the RSL and things like that.
Oh, definitely, mate. I think, so I look at it and I think, when we left the job, all right, you've then got time because when you're involved in it, it's all around you. It's like I say about domestics, when you're in the emotion and all that sort of thing, you can't see the wood for the trees.
Yeah.
But when you step out of it, suddenly your time, you get to actually break it down and actually, methodically go through the thought process and you kind of, I suppose you understand your emotions more and all that sort of thing. And then you really do realise how much it's affecting you.
Oh, yeah.
Or affected you.
Affected, yeah.
So I think when you're in, because it's a high octane job, please.
Yeah.
So you just go job, everything's happening at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And it's only afterwards that you realise what effect that has on you.
Yeah. And I think the funny thing is, see people, so many people go, I could never do that job. And it's like, it must be horrible. All the stuff you do must be terrible. It's like, nah.
Well,
Here's the trouble. That's why it's so bad, because what you're doing is not necessarily bad. Everyone's you're doing this. It's a team sport. You're not doing it by yourself.
No, that's right.
So,
yeah. What was it? You've got a front row ticket to the best show in the world.
Oh yeah, you just. Yeah, you do, and it's wild. It is. You know, and then there's laughter. Like, I haven't laughed like I have in the police force anywhere else.
Oh yeah.
So I know there would be other professions like that. I know the medical profession's pretty wild, but I know the military's got a wicked sense of humour. And we've mentioned all this before, but we're just recapping it because we're a bit nostalgic. We're back in the territory.
Yep.
We've got big plans for our trip here. We're going to get some really good stuff while we're up here too, and we're just having a good time, mate.
Well, exactly.
And so, yeah, I forget where I was going with that. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
But I was just thinking there though too. It's not only like, you know, we've said some of the morbid stories and all that sort of thing, like the PTSD and how it like damaged people, mate. I have not laughed this much.
Oh, my stomach's sore.
Oh,
yeah,
and sometimes like me in the car the other day.
Yeah.
I was telling a story, remember, and I couldn't even get it out because it was just so funny.
No, and when we talk about belly laugh, it's not just belly laugh; it's streaming tears down your face. Your stomach is just sore. Like, I'm still from last night. I remember leaning over the table at one point, laughing so hard, there's tears coming down my face, and then someone said something else that was as funny,
Yep.
and I couldn't even get a breath in. So that's the policing we knew.
That's right.
And the thing was, we went to this wild stuff, but you operate. I think my point back there was they've still got this sense of humour, and they've got this bad, you know.
Exactly.
The dark sense of humour is pretty common in jobs like this.
Yep.
But yeah, funny.
And to give it, like, we actually, I mean, people say we could talk under wet cement if we had to. I mean, obviously we can because we have no problem about getting 30 minutes in a podcast with no plan.
Yeah.
However, we started last night at about 4:30 in the afternoon, I think.
Yeah.
And we constantly talked, laughed, told stories with probably up to 20 people, I think, at any one time. And we still hadn't finished at 12:15.
No, it was just time to go because it was.
That's right. And we met the biggest bouncer in the world.
So we're gonna have to put that up on.
We will. Facebook. We'll put it up on the socials. Yeah. This guy.
Yep.
My
shout
torso
out to Jake.
Is his bicep.
Oh yeah.
He was massive.
But he came around collecting glasses, and he was behind me, and I was standing there talking, and everyone sort of looked up, and I turned around. I couldn't contain myself. I'd had a few sherbets at this point. And I said, "Holy Jesus, you're the biggest human being I've ever seen in my life." And he had a good sense of humour. He had a laugh. Yeah. Anyway, so Schultzy and I get a photo with him because he was a monster.
He was an absolute monster, but nice guy.
Yeah, good fella.
Like, just champion. He was joking with us and all that throughout the night, but
Yeah, so it was good fun. It was very funny. But yeah, I think the rest of the trip, like we've said, it's just going to be great. We'll catch up. We'll do the same thing again tonight.
Yep.
Dinner with friends on Saturday. It's just been lots of things have fallen into place. You know, it was when we mentioned we're coming up. You know, Swifty was good enough to say, "You got somewhere to stay?" I went, "Oh, we're just going to get a motel or something." He's like, "No, stay at my place."
Yeah. And we got offers of multiple places.
Oh yeah. And then another fella goes, "Have you got a car?"
Yeah.
And we're like, "No, we're just going to hire one." He goes, "No, I've got a spare. I've got a car we're not using. You can use it." So, or we're going to be away. You can use our car.
Yeah.
It's just like the generosity of old mates. It's just magnificent. So that's the camaraderie that comes with it. It's still there, and that's why I think we were having a laugh and all the rest of it. And the story we were saying with Kylie, where she said, "You may not wear the badge or the uniform anymore, but you're still in the family."
Yeah.
It's sort of. We were having a laugh at the time during that story, but it struck us both. I remember both of us stopped.
Yeah, both of us kind of stopped. Like, a bit of a tear coming.
It was like, well, that's how we feel.
Yeah, that's right.
To be accepted like that was pretty good. So
exactly. Yeah.
And this would be universal. This would be the same in every country.
Exactly.
So, no, it's bloody good. We're enjoying it.
We better give a shout out to Leah and her daughter Jade as well. We caught up with them for breakfast this morning, and
it was good.
She took care of a lot of stuff when the intervention was happening.
Yeah.
So the FEMA side of things and all that sort of thing. She was fantastic. So shout out there. She's listened to I think most of the episodes.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's good. So I think the goal. I think this, for this week, there's not much more to say there. We're in the territory. We're having a great time, but the camaraderie is still there. Watch this space. We've got some really interesting interviews.
We have.
We've got some fantastic people that we're speaking to, and from very different walks of life.
Yep.
And different opinions in the police force. So
Exactly.
yeah, it could be a bit controversial, Schultz.
Well, it could get a little bit controversial.
That's all right.
But I think there's some, like, we're just chatting to a few people we're going to have a chat to,
Yeah.
and they're already lining up stories in their head.
Yeah.
So you get ready.
Yeah.
There's going to be some cracking stories. So
it's coming.
And these are from current serving police officers. So
Yeah.
So this is, and it's really good. We can get to chat to them.
Yeah, bloody hell.
So, and also, mate, I'll give a shout out because I haven't put it on there. Podbean for some reason takes a while. So we actually reached 50,000 downloads, I think, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But it took until we got to 54,000 downloads
Yeah.
before it said, "Oh, you've got your 50,000 download badge," and all that sort of thing. So look, to everybody that's listened, thank you very much because we couldn't have got here without you and enjoying and the feedback as well. So also for this, we have recorded this in the old style when we first started, but I think we're just a little bit more savvy now. So hopefully, let us know how the sound is and how you find it because we'll we can use it to improve. So because we're going to actually be doing this with a few people, we're live, we're together. We haven't done one live in how long, Dave?
A long time. Yeah. Yep.
So. Watch this space, and mate, I think that should just about do it for
That'll do us. Yeah. So 200 cops, stand by. We've got some good stuff coming up.
We'll see you later.